You are now watching Science Speaks. Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Sire Speaks. I'm your host, Sire Saru. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how unsuccessful people hate advice. So it's a common trait amongst people who are unsuccessful in life that they hate advice. They hate advice. You try to give them any type of information that could be beneficial to their life, and they get offensive about it. Like they find it like to be something that is, I guess disrespectful, if you're trying to tell them something that they need to improve on versus just taking the advice and actually applying it. And it's kind of ironic because it's like they need to realize that they're unsuccessful because they're not taking these pointers that somebody on the outside is trying to give them that could actually help push their lives into a different direction. I'm telling you, man, I've experienced it too many times. Me, I'm a very observant person. I'm a very caring person. And if I see somebody, that has like an area of improvement that could be something that could really like elevate their life, I'm not going to withhold that information. I'm going to tell them. I'm going to be like, hey, man, maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that, and most of the time, people that's lacking, they don't want to take that advice. Like somebody, their hair could be jacked up. You'd be like, yo, maybe you should get a cut. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should just cut your hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just have a clean cut. You know what I'm saying? They might be like, oh, no, I just want to rock it like this. And it's like, yo, like you're not going, like comb it. You're not going to brush it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to like do something to it. You know what I'm saying? And like, they don't understand that could be holding them back from opportunities. They might miss out on a date because they looking that way. They might miss out on a job opportunity because they're looking that way. But when somebody tells them something like that, it hurts their ego. They let their pride get in the way. It might be somebody that, that's always broke. They always broke. They always like asking people for money, right? And you might be like, look, just, set X amount of dollars to the side every time you get a paycheck, and to save that up, cut back on going out to places so frequently. Maybe you don't got to buy them new J's that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? You could just be giving them this advice, but most people that's in that situation, they're going to see it as you're trying to sun them. You're trying to, belittle them, or they're not intelligent enough to, know how to manage their money. So what do? They'll shut down, they'll get defensive, and they'll be like, man, I know what I'm doing. I got this under control. All the while, they know themselves that they life is jacked up. Their finances are jacked up, but their ego won't allow them to move past that. And it's a shame. I'm telling you, unsuccessful people, the number one thing that keeps them from being successful is they hate taking advice. Advice is like, it's like their kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand it. It's just weird. It's like, I think it's a combination of it triggering them as well as, them not wanting to change, because humans are typically creatures of habit. You got some people, they continue to do things that they know is, something that is contradictory to their own benefit, but they'll continue to do it simply because they've been doing it so long. That's all they know. You know what I'm saying? It's just so crazy. It's like you got people, they're going to get their tax money back. And I'll be like, look, man, take that money, invest half of it, spend, a quarter of it on yourself, maybe, and then the other quarter, take that, put that in the savings. I could tell people that, right? And folks would be like, man, hey, I hear you, I feel you, but every time tax season come around, shoot, I just go ball. Next thing you know, they go shopping at the mall, they go buy some BS, they might buy a couple bottles in the club. You find them, 2 months later, they right back flat broke. Creatures of habit. I'm telling you, man, unsuccessful people, they hate advice. They hate advice. It's like a good example is to be an NBA, ball player. One of the things that, I've observed a lot of times is that transition from a person being in college to them going to the league is them switching up their shooting style. You got some people out there who might have went to the league if they actually took the advice on switching up their shooting style and really improving on how they shoot and shooting free throws and getting their shot average up, but they feel that, hey, man, I've been shooting like this, this long. It got me to, college, but it's like, yo, you trying to go to that next level. You're going to have to change some things. You're going to have to elevate some things. You got to take the advice, man. Otherwise, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. What benefit is that? And one thing that's interesting, one trait that's very prominent amongst successful people, they love advice. Any advice they can get, they're looking for it. They'll come and find people to give them advice. They're begging people to give them advice simply because they know how useful it is. Advice is a tool. See, because when you are yourself, you can only see yourself from the first person point of view. There are people that's on the outside of you that can observe things about you that you're fully unaware of, no matter how conscious or aware you are. By taking that advice, and at least examining it, you have a higher chance at being able to, be successful. And I'm not saying to go out and just take all advice. Sometimes people might be trying to steer you in the wrong direction. Ultimately, you want to take advice from people who have a sound mind, people who are strivers or successful in their own right, people who, they themselves take advice. Because they're going to give you sound criticism. They're going to give you sound feedback. So I'm telling you, if you're that person that's watching this video and you hate taking advice and it's just, it hurts you every time you have to hear somebody give you criticism, maybe you might need a lot of work. That might be why so many people are trying to give you advice. So take some of that advice, man, implement it and just see just how far that takes you. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. All right. Well, that's my podcast for today. I hope, I hope that, helps, different people, on their journey, cause, that's what this podcast is about, man, giving advice and, putting people on game about certain things and just, sharing knowledge that I've attained, by being observant and, just being around, so. Till next time, and also like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. I appreciate all of that. Comment too, man. I want to know what y'all think. Till next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.